Hey there and welcome. This is Caching in the Northwest. This is the podcast from the birthplace of geocaching right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, it's Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific, and for some reason they call me Chris of the Northwest. And we're going to talk about geocaches and geocachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're shopping for a new pager and other small electronics, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
Pagers, walkie-talkies. Yeah, be careful using those things. Tonight we're talking about you, however. How are you doing? How are you progressing on your geocaching goals for the year? You know, we set them, a while back. When the year kind of got rolling, it's rolling. So are you on track to complete what you started? Did you reach any of your goals? Have you set any new goals? Have you adjusted your goals? Listeners, tell us about your goals and your status and all of the feedbacks and discussions that are probably already going on as I'm awkwardly stumbling through the introduction tonight. But first, it's time to bring in our goal-oriented gorilla. Some say he is the Earth Cache Mafia. And others say he really seems to care. About what, we actually don't know. All we do know is that he's called Land Monkey.
There's a book about the subtle art of not doing something that I won't say on the podcast, but I think that sums things up as well.
If you have poo, fling it now.
You had a wry smile on your face when it was mentioned that you were the Earth Cache Mafia. They found out.
Well, it was kind of a wry smile because I was thinking, I know of a Memphis Mafia who also really enjoy Earth caches. So I don't know. Am I the Earth Cache Mafia?
Are you the Memphis Earth Cache Mafia?
I'm definitely not that. Anyways, you know what I am?
No, do tell.
Do what I am. I am thankful for the support from all of our patrons who help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. And thanks to our two corporate Denali level sponsors. Well, that would be landsharkz.ca, Land Sharks. And hey, folks, if you've seen anything on geocaching.com that you thought me want, well, you should go see if landsharks.ca has it online or in their brick and mortar. And you can just get it into your grubby little paws immediately.
Me want? You got.
Yeah.
Come on. We like you.
Jim, hey, Jim, look at me. I'm the captain now.
Oh.
All right. Was that my phone? Okay. Anyways, I don't think so. But speaking of phones, that's a good segue to our other patron, and that our Denali level corporate Denali level patron, and that would be Cachly. Cachly, the premier geocaching app for iOS, version 8 with Cachly Pro, features offline maps of the entire world so you can navigate while offline Delorme and counties so that you can finish off those grids. Maybe that's one of your challenges that we'll talk about. And coming soon, we're all waiting so excitedly for CarPlay support. Find Cachly in the iOS App Store or go to cachly.com, CACHLY.com.
Cachly.
Cachly. And folks, if you want to know more about supporting this here podcast, we encourage you to click that Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website.
That was a good one.
Thanks.
So, folks, it's time for the glow. I can't tell you the number of people that ask me a specific question when they see me for the first time. Do you know what they usually ask?
No. What do they ask?
Why do you look that way? But then
followed by,
what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And then followed by, what is a glow?
Well, yeah, there you go. I was waiting for somebody to pop it up. Okay, let's just see if we can string it out a little longer. What is a glow?
Indeed.
Why, the glow. Thank you, GSM times 2. I knew I could count on someone. The geocache, or the glow, is the geocaching log of the week. So whether you wrote it or whether you read it, we want to hear about it because great logs simply make geocaching better. Now, you can send an email. That's the easy thing to do, right? That's the entry level. You want to step it up a notch?
Yeah, step it up a notch.
Let me tell you what I can do. Why don't you make a recording right there on your fancy phone? Send that in to feedback@cachingnw.com. But wait, there's more. You know what's even better than a recording? A
No.
live call. Call
Ooh.
into 253-693-TFTC and show us how you glow. Now, did you see? You've got a good with the email. You've got a better with the voice memo. You've got a best with the phone call. Good, better, best. You make your decision where you want to go and send us that glow right there.
But you have
I'm-
to do one of those three.
I'm giving you choices, and they only get better as we go along. Now,
Right, but since
how
we
much
don't
would you
have
spend?
them, you're stuck with the participation ribbon with Wits End reading the glow.
Hey, before we go there, if you've just read out what's good, better, best, what would be calling in live from a cruise ship?
Excellent.
So would that be like the platinum level there? Because I think Cache Canada is going for the platinum level here. tonight.
Oh, are they calling in right now?
Well, they're not calling in right now, but they could, and they could
Okay.
really amp things up. But they're
There
saying
you
hello
go.
from the MS Zandam cruising to Alaska, London Westy Lyric Glass, Tycoon Auto, Read My Lips, Green Words, Wet Coaster, and Pam and Steve. So lots of folks, many of whom are listeners to the podcast,
Holy cow.
Yeah,
all on a cruise
How
together.
did I miss out on this?
that's a great group.
I guess your invites in the mail.
See, that's when people meet me and they go, "What's wrong with you?" And you don't get invited on cool things like this.
Okay.
GSM times 2 wants to just show up at your house and read the glow.
Seems
Sure,
like
come
an
on by.
option.
The offer stands tonight. After tonight,
That's a
we'll
That's a heck
decide.
of a drive for GSM times 2, unless he's happens to be a lot closer, and then surprise,
Wouldn't
And
you
then
be
it gets
surprised if he was already in Tacoma for the night?
right?
It's like, well, okay then.
I apparently got to get on the list. And from what I hear, the moose is on the list.
That's what I've heard.
Mhm.
All right. Well, hey, talking about the glow,
Yeah, what were we talking
Where were we?
the glow, and good, better, best. And hey, this is a special glow. This is a 2-for-1 deal. It's the 2-parter.
Mm.
Yes, thank you.
It's the suspense.
I know. I was like watching Chris do semaphore sign language there. I was trying to see what it interpret his reading there. Yeah. All right. So this is from a cache that's GC Alpha Whiskey Bravo Victor 1. And the cache name is Getting High on Boot Link. I like it.
Okay.
And it's 2-for-1 because, well, it's from 2 cachers each giving their point of view.
Fun.
So this is Limax's point of view, who's a famous cacher. People recognize him because he said, "Hey, I heard about him on the Caching in the Northwest podcast."
He's beyond famous.
Yes, he's infamous.
Infamous.
All right, so Limax's point of view, the log says, Piffle Bear and I went after this one today. I was pretty sure what we were facing, so I brought the correct tool of the trade along. Retrieving the cache took a bit, but we soon had it in hand. Returning the cache proved to be a lot more difficult. Turns out my tool of the trade was much better at retrieving than returning. Piffle Bear had to call in a favor to have another tool of the trade brought in order to MacGyver a solution. All said, it took an hour to put the cache back. Note that this cache is better in the morning than the afternoon. The sun made things very difficult the later in the day it gets. This definitely led to a lot of laughter and frustration.
Now I'm curious which tot was required for this.
Right? So that was signed Limax, and this one is signed Piffle Bear. It's Piffle Bear's point of view. Piffle Bear says, Limax and I decided to try for this cache today. So far, I'm seeing a similarity. We came prepared with an appropriate tool of the trade and spotted and retrieved the cache rather quickly. After signing the log, we faced the difficulty 4 part of the task. Environmental factors and our tool of the trade quirk impeded the return of the cache to its rightful place. Lots of laughter ensued. As chief kibitzer for Team Limax, I provided the appropriate support. Almost there. That was close. Oh, just missed. While Limax kept trying. After a few failed attempts, I went into my WWMD, what would MacGyver do, mode, and I began to search around for something that would assist in our endeavor. My, air quotes, wonderful ideas turned out to be not so wonderful. Earth's bounty did not provide working options, and, luckily for the next cacher, I didn't have any gum. I resorted to making a call to my mom, who lives in the area, to have her make an emergency tool of the trade delivery. With new materials in hand, our attempt to return the cache was finally successful. All in all, it took us about an hour, which left me with a question. Is patience considered a tool of the trade? Thanks for the adventure.
The with the emergency tot delivery, does that make mom Amazon?
Could be.
Oh, I
Amazon
like
Prime?
it. Mhm.
I guess if it was, that means she has to go into work 5 days a week now.
In a very rare word stumble, Wits
Yes.
End said tool of the trot,
Yeah,
which
I hate it when I have that.
that never happens, first of all, but it actually fit the situation because I'm sure they trotted over with a new tool.
I'm sure, yes.
Oh, so it was a horse they needed.
Yes, of
Well, that's
course.
a horse of a different color.
So there you go. I do like the, yin and yang, the two-part
that's
log.
fun.
Yeah. Where you get to see both sides. And it took us an hour. Well, actually what happened is
Oh, it's like any conversation with Mrs. Monkey and I. I will
yeah.
tell a story and then she will say, well, actually what happened.
Here's how it really happened.
Yeah. The less dramatic version. Yes.
And we know how good Limax is with numbers.
Yeah.
I would say Piffle Bear is very good with words.
Yes, it appears so.
The kibitzer.
Yeah.
The kibitzer, indeed, indeed. Well, if anybody has any guesses in the chat about what the tool of the trades required for that would be, it'll be interesting to see what they come up with.
What did she say? And have her make an emergency tool of the trade delivery. Okay. So I originally read it as an emergency tool of the trade. I thought, well, maybe the faster it goes, it generates free energy. But we're not going
motion machine. The tot is a perpetual motion machine. There we go.
Oh, good. Hey, folks, tonight we are using the hashtag goals to talk about your goals for the year. And of course, you can use hashtag FATAS to bring up something in the after show. So start tossing out those goals, and we're going to bring in a little news and then come back.
Sounds good.
News. All the news that's fit to print. This one is from, it's from geocaching, I think. Here.
Yes, it
is.
You
can earn the International Earth Cache Day 2024 souvenir.
From the Earth Cache Mafia.
Nobody wants that. Move on. This will be something. Oh, no, wait. You can earn this souvenir by visiting any Earth cache and completing the logging requirements.
It's a two-parter.
I was going to do the first part.
See, everything this tonight is the two-parter thing. You can do it anytime from Friday, October 11th through Sunday, October 13th, 2024. All non-premium Earth caches are open to everyone throughout the weekend on the geocaching app from 11 o'clock UTC on Friday, that's October 11th, until 10 UTC on Monday the 14th. Earth caches do not have physical containers. Instead, they take you to a unique geological feature. Study your surroundings, answer the questions listed in the cache description, and send them in a message to the cache owner. Then log your find online.
And only then.
Yes.
Okay, Earth Cache Mafia.
Sounds like homework to me.
Do you have to wait for a response from the cache owner before you you log online?
Technically, you do not. As long as you've submitted your answers, you do not have to wait. Rarely you will come across an Earth cache or a virtual where the cache owner will be insistent that you can't log until you receive their okay, but that's pretty rare. And that's not technically within the guidelines. But technically within the guidelines, one must submit their answers prior to logging.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree with that. Just so you know, that anyone else having the feed freeze on them? Apparently, it's chilly in the internets tonight.
Breaking the internet again. But yes, we see a few folks are having some issues. So if you're experiencing issue, what we have seen there in the chat is do a refresh. Caching Cants said refresh on the YouTubes. Seemed to have cleared it up for them.
The tubes
All
of
of the
you.
YouTubes.
All the tubes.
Yes.
What else have we got?
You can blame Bob Billy.
For everything. Yes.
Dilly dilly.
Dilly
All right.
dilly Bob Billy.
Hey, speaking of Limax, did you know he's famous?
Yes.
Yeah.
Infamous.
Yeah, we discussed that earlier.
Sorry, I kind of jumped the gun on that news story there.
That's quite all right. We got a little news story from Limax. The fun little story. Thank you for sending this in, Limax. He received a comment from Habus Heather, who is a regular viewer of the podcast and contributor in the chat, who wrote, "I heard of Limax while watching Caching in the Northwest podcast. I'm excited to have found his path tag after completing my adventure to Shelrick's Center of the Triad."
Hey, good deal.
So very cool. Congrats to all involved in that little scenario. That's cool.
Sounded like she had quite a little trip.
Ooh, that and Monte Cristo.
Yeah, found Shelrick's Center of the Triad. That and Monte Cristo were my goals.
Those are good goals.
Yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Apparently, there's a group hiking to the cache, which will never be named, this weekend. But unfortunately, she's back in Oregon.
There you
Well,
go.
have a good hike now.
Well, Oregon is a lovely place to be.
Oh,
Yes,
isn't it though?
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
All right. One more news story, Chris.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was going to just
No,
follow
no.
up on the Earth Cache story.
Oh,
Did you
please.
see GSM times 2 says, what percentage of Earth Cache owners respond when you answer the Earth Cache questions?
So is that
100% for me.
sorry, 100%?
I respond to everybody who does my Earth cache.
Okay, but like for Earth caches, I think the question is for
I
Earth
know.
caches you answer.
I know, but I'm just taking the credit.
Good job, Chris. We're all very proud of you. Okay.
Thank you. That's all I wanted. Okay. It wasn't that hard. It's my podcast. I can get all the glory I want here.
That's
right.
Take it all,
I
man.
usually have to give it to myself, but that's not the point. Okay.
Usually.
Anyway, let's go back. When you submit Earth Quash answers,
Or Earth quack answers.
wow, it depends on how bad you are.
Words are hard tonight.
Words are hard. When you submit your Earth Cache answers, how often do you get a reply saying, "Yay, that was it," or "Well, actually, I was looking for XYZ," or go ahead and log something? Do you guys get something, or does it just fall radio silent?
I've had both. I can't say what percentage, but I've had some. I just never hear anything. And I thought, okay, well, I guess no news is good news.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think just from the feels I can recall, most owners reply with, a very quick, good job, thanks, something.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to ballpark it, I'd say probably about 70-75% of the time I get an answer.
That feels about right.
Mm-hmm.
See Dora Moore saying she gets a reply about 90% of the time.
And she replies to all those who log hers.
Yeah, GSM times 2 says same. He responds to 100%. I will say I also respond 100% of the time, just not right away. Sometimes it takes me a few days before I get back to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But I know they've logged it anyway, so.
You have to wait for the jet lag to wear off.
Exactly.
Brylang says, recently it feels like I get fewer responses from EC and virtual cache owners.
Well, feels like there's almost another show in there about.
Yeah. He's been replying to everyone who logs his as time permits.
as time permits. Yep. That's the challenge sometimes, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Megan. There we go. I try to reply to everyone on my virtual and wish them a happy caching. Very nice.
Aw, isn't that
Very
pleasant?
thoughtful.
Very friendly.
And caching can'ts. I try my best to respond to the 2 earth caches owned, but sometimes the answers get buried in the messages. That
Yeah.
also can happen.
Mhm. I do. Oh, caching can't usually replies with a thumbs
Hey,
up.
fair enough. You know,
It's
any acknowledgement is
exactly, and thumbs up. That emoji is a proper response in today's culture. So when you look at some of the older earth caches and they say, hey, send an email to da 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 da, like I don't do that anymore, because if the people have defaulted to the settings of the message center, it sends an email to them.
Yeah.
So do you guys agree with that, or do you send an email out?
I
as well?
almost never send an email. The only time I've sent an email, this is something I've seen a lot more prevalent in Europe than I have seen over here, but I have seen it a couple times in the US. But is the idea that for a virtual, I haven't seen that for an earth cache, but for a virtual, what they get you to do is your answer. You type in your answer at gmail.com. You don't type your answer. You put in the answer
right.
as the email address at gmail.com. Send it. If you get a reply,
You got
from
it
their
right.
auto reply that says go ahead and log, then you can log. If you get a host not found, then you didn't have the right answer. So that's kind of a neat way of doing it. That
is
makes it a little
interesting.
easier for the cache owner, and it makes it very clear if you got the right answer or not. Yeah, I haven't seen it done much over here in North America, but I've seen it quite prevalent in Europe. So a different idea.
Interesting. That would be fun for a multi-cache as well.
Oh, what an interesting idea.
Be interesting if okay, well, I think it's this. You could do it all in a parking lot, right? And multiple sign or light bulbs. You could have different answers at those, and then you put in the one you think, nope, it's not right. Go back to the start over again. Choose your own adventure.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, there's a few
Okay.
different parameters you could do with that. Anyways,
Too much fun. Hey,
What?
it's time.
To put on makeup,
No, to earn some souvenirs.
to light the
Time
lights.
to dress up right. It's time to get things started on the podcast tonight. Boom, 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 boom.
Why do we always come here?
I didn't
I
know
don't
we
know.
had a theme song. I like this. Okay. It's time to earn some souvenirs. You can earn the fall Cito season souvenir by attending, or better yet, hosting a Cito. The hosting a Cito souvenir just sparkles a little more than the attend a Cito souvenir does. You do that now until November 30th. Host a Cito every day from now until then. You get one souvenir. Attend one between now and then. You get one souvenir. It doesn't
Okay.
really matter.
Sorry. I think you were waiting for a little bit more response.
Yeah,
than
you
got
guys-
there, Chris.
I
Sorry
think
about
you guys are tired tonight.
that. Unfortunately, we both are. That's not helping you out at all.
Okay. Hey, also September Equinox souvenir. Find a total of 3 geocaches, event caches, and or Adventure Lab locations between September 22nd and 28th,
Sunday.
2024. Yeah, this week.
Okay.
Or the upcoming week.
Yep.
So,
And a reminder, it's 3, not
3.
just 1.
and it can be a geocache, it can be Earth Cache, and Adventure Labs. It can be any combination of those 3. You could do 3 geocaches, you could do 3 adventure stops, however you want to do it.
Sounds good.
And
But
World
wait, there's more.
Postcard Day souvenir. Attend any geocaching event from September 29th to October 5th. Do you see how these things are stacking?
It's like souvenir-a-palooza going on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good term.
Now, if you could go to an event September 28th at midnight and then follow over to find a geocache. No, you would have to find a geocache September 28th at midnight and then an event on the at 12:01 September 29th. You could knock out 2 souvenirs.
Why not?
That seems like more work than doing an earth cache.
Yeah. but you could. See how easily these things stack up? You just knock them out.
Except the event is on the 29th for World Postcard Day.
Yeah. So you could have it at the 29th at 12:01 a.m.
So you'd go caching first on the 28th.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Brian doesn't think that would work.
I tried. Okay, fine. Don't go caching
Fine.
with me.
Do it your own way then. See if I can.
You know what? My goals say you don't go caching with me.
Ah, there we go. Well, is that our segue?
Let's do it. Caching Kent says, I got my fall souvenir at Sahan's Cito last Saturday. Also hosting a Cito on October 12th.
Very
Send
cool.
us the GC code for that, Caching Cants, and we'll let everybody know. Oh, Bryling in his overachievement has done his fall Cito season souvenir already.
Yep.
I'm sorry. It's like pick on
A handful
Bryling
of
Day.
people have.
It's not pick on Bryling Day.
Why not?
Oh, maybe it is.
I thought every day was.
All right.
He mentioned the cache which shall not be named.
He's really trying to get this he's trying to get us some sleep is what he's trying to do. All right. Well,
Okay.
why don't you segue us into our topic, Chris,
So
because we're halfway through the podcast.
We're talking about goals. So use hashtag goals. Don't forget. We're we're halfway through the podcast, but we're 3/4 of the way through the year 2024. I know it's hard to believe, but trust me, we are. So how y'all doing on your geocaching goals?
By the way, you asked, and they've responded. Fall 2024 Cito at Taylor Landing, GC Alpha Whiskey 9/8 November.
I like the little trash can.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Very
Recycle
cool.
and everything.
Good job.
Be kind, rewind. Oh, that's different.
That is different. Hey, Megan had a great post here. That's a good segue as well on the topic of goals. Says this increase in souvenir earning is killing me due to the fact that I need enough leeway to make the Going Caching 2024 event my 5,000th find. Yes,
Nice.
I have been in a similar pickle in the past
Ah.
where it's I'm watching my numbers because I want to make a special trip or an event, a milestone, and then stuff keeps popping up. I'm like, oh yeah, but I want that too. So you gotta sometimes you gotta pick and choose.
Interesting. So maybe you need to stretch those goals, like Bryling says, and just find another 1,000 between now and then.
Problem solved. Yes, indeed. Well, hey, Megan, when you achieve that 5,000, make sure you call it into the podcast.
There you go. Of course. And that number is 253-693-TFTC.
There you go.
And that puts you at that elite glow goal.
Ah, yes.
Hey. We got a will do. She's going to do it.
Awesome. Thank you.
She's committed. Okay.
Just
That's
like
all
we
we
should
needed
be.
here. So, about the goals, there's still time. You can buckle down and finish what you started. So
That's it?
Yeah.
So,
that's
well,
it.
Okay.
Before we jump to, and there's been a few more discussions about goals from our live listeners, but before we get into that, did you guys have any goals that you've been working on caching wise this year?
I recall, just going from memory, that I made all of one goal.
Oh,
And I think I came up with it during our goal episode at the beginning of the year. I said, you know what? I have not hidden a cache since I moved over here. I'm going to hide a cache this year. And well, I haven't done it yet, but I have at least done some planning towards that goal and having a location in mind and permission to use said location. So I'm working on it. It's just not, I can't check the box yet.
Ah, very close though. Good job.
I did want to hide a cache this year as well, and I haven't done that yet. Though earlier in the year I did start on building a birdhouse that I was going to use for that. So, but my goals were shattered when we decided, well, let's do a kitchen remodel, and I'll do it myself. And then, nearing the end of that, our car was shattered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those who didn't know,
Had a rough summer. That's
our car got wiped out in front of our house. It was totaled by somebody doing 60 miles an hour on a residential street. So we have been car shopping for, I don't know, it seems like a month and a half. We did finally find
Forever.
one. So yay, we now have a car. But that car took priority because it's inconvenient to not have each wage earner have their own vehicle.
Yeah.
Put it that way, right? So I think that's a good way to
I-
mention it. So
Well, especially if you're living somewhere where there's transit, but not
right.
transit that's adequate to get you where you need to be.
Right. And I have used transit to get to Seattle a couple of times during this, and it works out really well.
Mhm.
Oh, good.
It's convenient, it's comfortable, and it takes me about the same time to drive the actual transit. Of course, you have to add time at the front and back end, right? I have to go somewhere, then catch the bus. And so it adds a little bit of time, but the actual travel itself is about the same.
That's good.
So I appreciate transit.
There you go. Just trying to think goals wise what we've been working on. That was the big one we got this summer. I mentioned it in the last podcast, but Washington state counties. We finally have found caches in all 29, I want to say.
That sounds great. If you had Cashly, it could help you.
I'd know right away. I'm kind of going by memory here. So
You can say 29 if you like. I won't be able to correct you because I have no clue.
whatever the number is, we have finally fulfilled
You
that.
can county them all.
Yeah. But that was a lot of fun. It was a couple different road trips to get that all done. And saw some really cool stuff. In the last county we needed to get, we were able to go and see the
Trolls.
wow, my brain just went blank. All I can think of
Trolls?
is 39 counties. There you go. Thank you very much.
Funny,
Peach
it's the
is
same
always-
age than Peach is.
Yeah, there you go.
39 and
No, not the trolls. Although we did stop by, revisited one of the trolls to get the virtual cache there. No, the Stonehenge in Washington.
Oh, Mary Hill.
Yes.
Was it windy?
Not terribly. No, we
Okay.
got there in the early evening. Got there for sunset, which was nice, and
Lovely area.
yeah, neat location. And I mean, it's not a Stonehenge exactly in the same sense as the one in Great Britain,
Oh, it is.
because the one in Great Britain isn't made out of concrete, my friend.
Well, no, but the rest of it's accurately positioned.
It's accurately positioned, and it's neat. It's neat
Mhm.
to see how it all works out and everything, and then to read the plaques inside and understand
Mhm.
why it was built. It was pretty neat. So, anyways,
What
I
in the Sam
digress.
Hill?
no,
yeah,
very well.
Sam Hill. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so
so-
that was a big achievement.
Also, right there at Mary Hill Museum, there is the original stretch of road in Washington State. It only opens up a couple times a year. It's incredibly twisty. They did that on purpose to test for vehicle speeds and stability. But that's also right there near Mary Hill.
Interesting. All
You
right.
can ride bikes, or I think they allow cars on it once or twice a year.
Cool. There you go.
There, in case you needed something else to put on your list of, let me go on the original road in Washington.
There you go. Megan's still working on Washington cities and towns and counties, and they're all on the west side. So there you
I find the corners are the hardest to get to.
go. Of the counties in Washington.
Yes. So the extreme northwest, northeast, southwest, and southeast.
I found the southeast was the trickiest because there's a whole bunch all just crammed right in the corner.
Yes, there's some small counties over there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Subway Mark says, I just joined and you're talking about transit. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
He also
weird.
adds that he has 30 of 39 Washington counties and all 36 Oregon counties.
Awesome.
Nice.
Good job.
Subway Mark, I took 2 trains in 2 days and a bus. So just wanted to let you know, yeah, I thought of you.
Too funny. Okay. What else have we got for people's goals here? Let's pop over.
Well, let's see. If your goal has been to get to one of the WSGA 20th anniversary Geo Tours,
Oh,
because there are 7 of them,
yeah.
you have to finish that goal before midnight, December 31st.
Oh,
You
So
have to
get out
finish
there.
and log.
And log, yes. It's see that 2-parter thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Ooh, together as one.
so now's the time to get 18 of the 20 finds in each of the 7 WSGA chapters. You can complete 3 chapters and get a geocoin. You can complete all 7 chapters and get the companion geocoin. You can get all 20 out of 20 in all 7 and be an overachiever like some monkeys I know.
And then you get the digital souvenir.
Yes, that's right. I forgot about the digital souvenir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually 8 digital souvenirs. There's 1 for each of the 7 chapters and then an 8th for completing them all.
Mhm.
So very cool.
So in case you needed a few more those souvenirs, yeah, we're looking at you, Megan.
Dora Moore got Fizzy times 9 this past weekend and is just 3 squares away from Fizzy 10. So close.
Wow.
But yes, as we all know, so close. But then where do you have to go to get those last 3? Sometimes is the challenge.
Iceland. Oh,
But congratulations. That's awesome. 9 times, 10 times on your Fizzy. Good job.
that is amazing.
I can't even imagine doing that.
Caching Can says, in case you need a reason to spend gas money, WSGA Geo Tours.
Exactly.
But it'll also get you towards those cities and counties.
It will.
You can overlap those nicely.
You were talking about, go ahead. Just finding our way, likely goal for next year, finish the Montana counties, which made me wonder how many counties are in Montana, because Montana is a very large state.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
but
But
not
it
very
wouldn't
populous.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not very popular, so it wouldn't surprise me if it had fewer counties.
It wouldn't surprise me if it had like 7 counties.
But I was looking, you were talking about Fizzies. Did you see Brylang is 2 away from 21 times Fizzy
Whoa.
and 3 more to 22 times. So
Awesome. That is a lot.
That's loopy.
that's
This is very loopy.
that's super Fizzy.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Montana has 56 counties.
Okay.
He has 25, and Lost Can just knew that right up.
Yeah,
the top
jumped
of his
right. I saw him
56.
jump right in with that. It was pretty awesome. So there you go, 56. That's a lot.
That does seem like a lot, doesn't it?
It does. What else have we got?
Is there a challenge or a geo tour or something for the Montana counties, or is it just your goal?
County collection. Yeah, I don't know.
Nothing wrong with that. I was just
Nope.
curious.
Not at all. So IHAM said he didn't really set any goals, so has no metrics, but does know that they've slowed down a bit on their caching this year, which is totally good because life has all kinds of different priorities.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah, right. We were talking about that earlier. Caching Cants hit number 4,000 in early July and is now at 4,600. Congratulations. It's definitely a goal.
Did you hit a geo trail there? Caching Cants to
yeah,
jump up 600 caches in a couple of
found
months?
his 4,000th back in July, up to
Nice.
46, 41 as of today. There you go.
Fantastic.
Impressive.
Back to just finding our way. It's just a hole in the map. And
Gotta fill it.
I completely understand wanting to finish a graphic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lost Ken knew because he grew up in the 56th county of Montana. As
Wow.
And if you were to grow up in the 56th county, how would you know you're in the 56th?
Is that
I
like
was
going
just
clockwise or counterclockwise?
right. I was just going to say it's one thing to know how many counties there are, but do we know when each county is that by chronological when they
I
were
would imagine they'd
established?
be
Yeah.
chronological. I can't see
I'm
of any other way of
starting to
doing
wonder now what order the counties in Washington were founded.
Exactly.
You know, I want to give you bonus points if you get Wyoming Absaroka County, because that would be an accomplishment.
How do
that?
you know that?
Oh, I did have to Google that, but Absaroka County is a fictional county, by the way.
Oh,
I binged. It's been a couple of years, but I binge watched the TV series Longmire,
mm,
which takes place in Absaroka County, Wyoming. And interestingly enough, and I know some other states do it too. Montana might be one of them. The state license plates have a 2-digit number on the first that indicate what county the vehicle is
hey,
registered in. Yeah, there you
how
go.
did you know that's what Lost Ken was going to say?
Yeah.
They're numbered on the license plates.
So you can immediately know if somebody is from your county by whether the prefix on the license plate is the same digits there.
Well, look at
I
that.
figured that out in Washington. I'm pretty good at telling, what county they are by the prefix on the license plate,
Hmm.
but I'm not
That's just
100%.
that's just because you're a stalker.
And
Hey.
I got nothing else to do because I'm not going out and finding caches.
Okay.
Hey, we got some Jedi Trash Panda throws some cool stuff in here. They do.
Trying to swallow when you read his name. Sorry, it's just funny.
Yeah, it is funny. It's even funnier if we can time it when Chris has a mouthful of water.
Yeah.
Thanks to Leap Day this year, I was able to finish filling my find dates calendar and also
Nice.
surpassed 100 Earth Cache finds this year. Congratulations.
Nice.
A couple of big achievements there.
So that means on Earth Cache weekend, he's going to have to drive an hour and a half to go find an Earth Cache.
Perhaps. That's why I always keep local Earth caches to find
Mhm.
for International Earth Cache Day. We got a few other folks here.
We got another goal. This one comes from GSM times 2. In October, my muggle wife will join me as I finish the last 85 of 844 historic Route 66 Adventure Labs series. He has a podcast appearance lined up when he's done.
Oh, there you go.
We already have that on the books. So between now and then, you're going to have to keep us up to date.
Indeed.
And let us know when you start this epic adventure.
Call in some updates.
Yeah, a little teaser there for a future episode.
But I mean, his goal is to physically do all of the historic Route 66 Adventure Lab series, which in and of itself is quite a goal.
Yeah.
Well,
Indeed.
there's about 844 if I were to hazard a guess.
And I know that it would be quite the accomplishment if I could get my muggle wife to accompany in all those. So kudos to you for getting your wife to go along.
Good stuff. We have Dora Moore has another goal. I want to take the hike to Bulldozer at 790 meters of elevation on Burke Mountain. I've been there. I know what she's talking about. I got there with energy to spare and continued on to the 900 meter mark. That was a big one for her. Congratulations.
Fantastic.
Where is that?
That's in Coquitlam,
Okay.
British Columbia here.
Now I just want to drive a bulldozer to 790 meters of elevation.
It's called that because there is a bulldozer sitting up there at the 790 meter.
Okay.
Well, once you get it up there, you may as well leave it up there. I mean,
well, I think that's kind of what happened.
Was it starved for oxygen at that altitude? No.
Yes, I'm sure it must have been. Speaking of GSM times 2 as well, earlier he had said his number one goal every year is to continue to have fun geocaching. And today he worked on a list of 25 caches and 5 AL locations. Didn't find them all, but achieved his goal of having fun.
That's a good goal.
Good job.
Nice.
And
Let's see. What else do we have? We have
a few coming in here. Yeah.
Kitty Quest. He's passed 200 Earth caches, and I'm very close to 200 virtuals and 200 large. Also close to 100 not chosen.
I think I've driven past at least 200 Earth caches.
You probably have on some of your road trips. I bet you have. Yeah.
Congratulations.
And, they could all be 200 glacial erratics.
Yeah.
In the Pacific Northwest, they could. Yeah. All right.
Let's see.
There's been lots coming in. It's hard to keep up now.
Oh, Kitty Quest, who's done 200 Earth caches, very close to 200 virtuals, and 200 large. I think that's $200,000, right?
Yeah.
Just looking for 200 large. Okay. She just passed 2,200 or 2,024 smiles for 2024 this week.
Nice.
That's
I know
incredible.
there's a couple of challenges,
So that means she only has to find one cache next year.
Yeah. I think she means total for the year, but
Oh,
Probably so.
okay.
very cool. That's awesome. And even if not, still, that's very cool. It's always fun to be able to hit the number that matches the year. That's kind of neat.
Did we get Lost Cannon there? Had some goals. First mega for us, Geo Woodstock,
Congratulations.
and met a very famous monkey. All goals met.
That's awesome.
So yeah. So I guess
Well-
Mrs. Land Monkey was there. Is that what it was?
Yes, the very famous monkey would be
Okay.
Mrs. Land Monkey for sure.
Well, apparently, Komakino needs to find a cache with a famous monkey. I'm thinking Clive from
Yeah. Left turn, Clive.
Left Turn Clive. Mhm.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Always
yeah.
enjoy caching with Komakino, and Lost Cannon was great to meet you.
Um,
Oh, yep.
Curious
Curious
George.
George. There you
There's
go.
a good monkey.
In
That
case you want to know, it's getting a little bouncy on the high seas. They're passing Haida
Haida
Gawai.
Guai. Yeah.
Haida Gawai.
Yep.
I like Gawai.
It's
I
like
prefer Haida
what was-
Cache.
what was formerly known as the Princess Charlotte Islands.
Mm.
Did she offend somebody?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyways, it is returned to the original name for those islands of the Haida Gwaii.
I've never heard of them or Princess Charlotte, so
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't really matter.
Is a really fascinating set of islands. It's north of Vancouver Island, if you're looking at the map. Just keep going up.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
so is Alaska.
Yes, it is. So they're on their way. Do we have any other?
Yes, there's one
fatalities?
more. Subway
One more,
Mark.
yeah.
Yeah.
He had a goal to hit 7,000. Did so in Calgary 2 weeks ago with a cache with a C train. That's Calgary's light rail theme.
Sea Train themed cache
Yeah.
was his 7,000th. Very good.
In
Congratulations.
Calgary.
Subway Mark.
Well
Nice.
done.
That's a lot of finds.
That's impressive. Impressive.
Um,
Very impressive.
have we got most of the goals now tonight?
I think we have. Well, the chat lackey is giving us the thumbs up. So I think he might be going to an Earth Cache or a Arcito event. I'm not sure, because that's what we mean by that.
I got one more here. Caching Cants. We were talking about the WSGA Geo Tours,
Mhm.
and they are doing a trip to the Inland Empire and Cascadian Geo Tours during the first week of October. All things going well, they will have found all 140. So we wish you lots of luck. You're going to be racing the weather
Mhm.
at this point in time. So hopefully you can avoid the snow and enjoy it. What Coaster has corrected me. I thought when I was saying Princess Charlotte, it didn't sound right. Queen Charlotte Islands. Yes,
Don't
I
demote her.
demoted her.
Oh,
I was thinking it doesn't quite sound right, but I was like, yeah, okay. We've been
Well-
calling them the Haida Gwaii for so long now that I just got used
Oh,
to it.
okay. Megan has one Cascadian cache left to complete.
Oh,
That's impressive.
I hope it's not one of the ones up where the snow might be. I hope you can get to it, Megan.
Or does she have to hold off until her goal is met? Then she can go get it.
Yeah. I don't know. Tricky.
Okay, so GSM times 2 says the last location on the Route 66 series will be my 30,000th milestone.
Wow, that's insane numbers.
Wow.
Congratulations. Heather's saying GCD should be her 6,000th find, is currently
Yep.
at 56.95. Very cool.
Oh, there you go. Megan says that's planned for when I get home.
Awesome.
Yeah, you don't want to push that in there just in case.
Yeah.
And Heather said my 14th geo anniversary is next September
nice.
17th.
Awesome. Wow, you've been at this for a long time.
Yeah,
Good job.
impressive. Well,
Yeah.
guys, thanks for sharing your goals this evening. That
Been
was a
fun
lot
reading
of
through
fun.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I let it slide because he didn't say it maliciously.
Like some people do.
Yeah. It was simply reading and responding to
Yeah.
one of our valuable listeners. So,
One
folks,
of, one of our valuable listeners, as opposed to other ones. And you know who you are.
I wasn't going to say it out loud. Now they have to go wonder. I wonder where I stand on the
Right.
on the categorized listing of Caching in the Northwest listeners. You know what you can do
No,
to
what?
boost yourself on that listing? And trust us, we know exactly where you stand on that listing. But you could call in to 253-693-TFTC. And that will shoot you right up that
There you go.
program.
At least
So.
in Chris's eyes. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, do you
Wow,
want to?
I feel like I read that once a week.
Yeah, at least once a week.
I think that's good. So, folks, let's go into the after show. If you've got anything to add, now's the time to toss in your hashtag FATAS for anything that's coming up. Maybe it's not goal related, right? Oh yeah, I've got my goals. That was done so long ago. But this weekend I'm going to such and such, right? That's what the FATAS is for, and that's what we want to hear about. So let's kick off the ending of the show by saying thank you for tuning in. We hoped you enjoyed this episode of Caching in the Northwest.
Indeed. And we want to take a moment to thank Landsharks and Cashly, our corporate Denali level sponsors. LANDSHARKZ.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online, and they're shipping those online orders daily. And Cashly, whoops, that's the wrong logo. Never mind. I'm just going to go back to this. Cashly is also our other corporate Denali level sponsor. Check them out online at cashly.com. Or, wherever you download your iOS apps, which is probably the iOS store. We also want to thank our faithful Denali level supporters, all of them, which includes Landsharks and Cashly, but also Cool Cow Cachers and Hawaiian Miley, who I believe was one of the very first people to show up in the chat tonight. So.
Yes, she was.
Mhm.
And folks, if you want to know more about supporting this year's show, well, click that Patreon link over on the cachingandw.com website.
Well, his lungs haven't failed him yet. Mine long time ago.
Tell me now.
And we want to thank Whidbey Island Gal,
And GeoBirder,
GeoNav Pro,
Camp Clan,
Trexer,
Just Carlo,
Butterfly Girl,
Hemnerve,
CRS 98,
Nervous Energies,
Seebeck Tribe,
Boomer 365,
and Teus,
Sepaway Mark,
Kid Vegas 19,
Logwork,
Doramore,
Geocaches,
Flagman,
Ackerduck,
writing into the show all the time. It's Limax,
and GSM times 2.
Railroad,
Kitty Quest,
Having to set their clocks back, Wet Coaster.
UDAC,
Genies,
Also having to set their clocks back, Greenwords.
that's right, Team Noltex,
Sege Hove,
I don't know what you Talks to Rocks is doing with her clocks tonight. You Talks to Rocks' clocks.
Nice.
All right. I saw in the chat tonight, Peach of Washington.
I saw her
BC.
last night.
Oh, nice.
BC Rockcrawler,
Gas Station Tuna,
B Pendragon,
the LG 9000,
MC3 Cats,
J Car,
Skyhawker,
Mountain Bike,
Terrible Teas,
just finding our way.
Folks, thanks for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. So if you like the show, click the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website. Now, if you didn't like the show, let us know what you want us to talk about. Because we give you the $1 million promise, don't we, Wits End?
That's right. You give us $1 million, we'll talk about anything you want.
You got it. But if you like the vibe, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and give us a review. Now, if you were in a restaurant, you would tip. If you were in a live audience, you would clap. But since you're on a podcast, leave us a free, fabulous, fantastic 5-star review. I had to get it out there.
You know, you nail it so many nights that if you miss it one night here and there, no worries.
I missed one word and it just didn't come out right.
That's right.
You know what? You can call 253-693-TFTC. You'll move up on that list and you can ask us a question. You can leave us a comment. You can help us set some new caching goals any time of the day or night. And of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingnw.com. Join us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific for a live show and chat. This show is produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paulwitz, Jake Kennedy, and Brian Lang. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution. Copyright 2024 by Chris Umfenauer. Folks, I ask you to stay tuned for
The After Show.
GSM times 2. You have no idea how tough words are tonight.
Yeah.
Very tough tonight.
We all were saying that before the show. It's like, oh, well, come on, we can get through this one.
We're struggling tonight. Yes.
Oh, we got a clap.
Or a wave.
Oh, yeah.
One-handed clap.
What is the sound of one hand clapping?
Indeed.
Jenna, Trash Panda says, haven't you heard? Bird is the word.
There you go. Funny. I like this one from GSM times 2 as a FATAS. I picked up an empty gelato container from a parking lot. Good for you. I guess, does that count as a CETO? I don't know. We'll find
Impromptu.
out. He says, my wife said, I cannot believe people do that, waiting for some idiot to pick up after them. I still love my wife.
Was it his empty gelato container? I dropped it. Oops.
That is funny.
You know, I was sitting. I was on the train. I was thinking, where was I? Was I in traffic? No, I was on the train, and we came to a stop. When we should have been moving, and I am just amazed at the amount of traffic in the median of a freeway. I'm sorry, the amount of garbage in the median of a freeway.
You know, yeah, and it can be a problem pretty much anywhere in North America. Although I have had a friend who's come up driving here and observed that they do find the medians and the Canadian highways tend to be, at least in British Columbia, tend to be a little cleaner than the Washington ones. It's too bad. It doesn't need to be that way, but
right. And I was wondering, could I do some sort of CETO like in the media? That's tough. I mean, you got cars going by 60, 70 miles an hour.
I don't think that's going to get approved.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking, I saw it, and instead of going, that's a shame, I wish somebody would do something, I thought, what can I do?
And that's awesome that you did,
right.
That you went there for sure.
Yeah, I was like, can I? You know what would be interesting is if we could get, like, say, all the Washington State geocachers to come out and let's do 10 miles of freeway, and have the Department of Transportation close off a couple of lanes on each side for us. We'll come and clean it all up for you. You just got to help us out.
Well, let me know how that goes. That sounds
ambitious.
I wonder if the Department of Transport would actually buy into that idea.
Think about the free labor. Yeah. You're never going to get that much work done at one time, doing a crew here and there.
Exactly. Well, speaking of setting clocks back, as you guys were earlier, White Coaster says they have to put their clocks back 1 hour before they head to bed to be on Alaska time. Indeed. Well, safe travels. And, hey, you group who are heading up to Alaska there, make sure to call in and send us some trip updates.
In case you didn't know, that number, 253-693-TFTC. That's 8382. And Megan says, you should see the sides of the roads in Georgia and South Carolina. You could do a CETO every day for at least a year.
Wow. Well, there you go. Yeah, I mean, if there's a way to safely do a CETO along a highway, then probably, but I just don't know if reviewers would allow it.
Now I know why that commercial in the 70s with the Native American and a single tear running down his cheek.
Do you sometimes do have some advice for you, Chris? If you get enough DUIs, they'll even provide an orange outfit for safety.
Isn't that lovely? Thank you.
How generous.
And it's safe, right? I mean, you can't miss that safety orange.
Hey, you know what? Jedi Trash Panda is thrown out of FATAS. We're running out of energy here. We're not going to get to this one tonight, but I'm going to read it, and I'm going to say, how about this as a topic for a very near future episode on CETOs? And Jedi Trash Panda says, what's the largest, oddest item you found while doing a CETO? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to challenge all of you out there. Send us in audio calls, emails, text messages, show up at Chris's house, however you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Let's collect all your stories.
Wait, well, hold on here. I like the emails and the phone calls and even the pictures.
I like Jedi Trash Panda's idea. So everybody send us in content. If we get enough content, we will make a show out of the craziest things you've found while doing a CETO. We want to hear your stories. So good suggestion, Jedi Trash Panda. Thank you.
I love it.
Love it. Yeah. Let's talk about the dead bodies, shall we?
Kevin wants to know if he can drop it off at your house.
Probably and not. That's all the time we have. No.
Kevin, I have a word for you. That word? No.
All right, my friends.
Folks, thank you so much for joining us this evening. And until next week, go pick up some trash and get caching in the Northwest.